He just has to touch you once.
Going down.
He's so different than anybody else in the division. Like, he knocks everybody out. Everybody hits hard. They all hit hard.
But he pushed down.
Dude hits hard. hard. You know they have that punch machine?
Oh, yeah,
where
you can see the power? What's his power?
190.
Dream that I was that fast and then I was.
Why you wake up? You should have kept dreaming.
Fast.
So this just dropped, and Joe Rogan couldn't believe what he was seeing. Fresh training footage of Shakur Stevenson came out showing absolutely insane punching abilities, with lightning-fast hands and surgical precision.
He even does it with his right hand, which is not his power punch.
And it still
his
was
power
130?
punch is his left hook. His left hook is what he knocks out everybody with. But it might be that his left hook is faster and it's a better weapon because it's in the front, and his right hand is more powerful, but he just doesn't land it as often that way. Did you find it?
Here's what's really wild about this. Stevenson's camp evolution points to something bigger happening. Sure, he's always been a defensive wizard, but now they're drilling explosive attack sequences. We might be looking at a completely different version of Shakur Stevenson. Terrence Crawford has been right there in camp with Stevenson getting ready for the Lopez War. Crawford and Stevenson have been going at it in sparring sessions and drilling together as Shakur prepares to jump up to 40 and take on Lopez. Having an elite pound-for-pound talent like Crawford as your training partner speaks volumes.
So, with the phone in my hand. I was this ever.
What Stevenson brings isn't just about throwing more punches. This is about surgical precision, perfect timing, and landing shots that actually matter. He adapts on the fly, studies his opponents mid-fight, and executes with purpose instead of just winging it. His head movement is so tight he slips punches by millimeters without losing his balance, staying ready to fire back immediately.
First sparring day, say he about to violate, we about to see.
Up. He gonna think he gonna think the referee hitting him in that bitch. Champ gonna just be hitting him all day long. Bop, bop, bop. He gonna be steady coming. Oh, he tough. But we gonna hit him with all that good shit. We gonna be ready for his ass. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, will I make you good? Yeah, get ready.
Stevenson operates on perfect timing, reading what's coming and landing quick counters that keep opponents guessing. Lopez brings a different energy, pressing forward with control, but never getting reckless about it.
Picking his shots carefully.
Talking about Styles making fights, and T.O. style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange. So I don't know, not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive, sweet science display from both guys.
He's spoken openly about
What drives Stevenson is this hunger to face killers who force him to level up his discipline and adaptability. Every fight becomes a chance to evolve as a boxer. His confidence comes from focusing on perfection rather than taking easy fights. And that mentality has him razor sharp for massive challenges like Lopez.
But it sent a message to the fans, but I think it also did something for you to prove to yourself that, man, listen, that wasn't like my best performance, but I showed you I can get it out the mud. What did that performance kind of do for you now that you look back at it?
Honestly, I think like styles-wise, I think that Zepeda's style is the style that's supposed to give me the most trouble. Like guys that box and give me time to think is the guys that's going to have a fit with me all night. But the guys who press me and put me against some ropes and throw a million punches, that's the style that's supposed to give me trouble. So I went out there and I prevailed against that style, and now I'm fighting against a boxer, which for me, it just makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with a guy that's trying to like wear me down so much.
Right.
So now I got to play chess. I got to do what I do best.
The key is how Stevenson picks his shots. Rather than wild combinations, he waits for the perfect moments to land clean, accurate counters that mess up his opponent's entire game plan.
All we do is win.
Stevenson has been grinding like never before as this Lopez fight approaches. Day after day in camp, he's pushed his limits physically and mentally, fine-tuning everything from his skills to adjusting to the weight jump while perfecting his movement and timing to handle Lopez's power and pressure. Elite sparring partners have been brought in, including sessions with Terrence Crawford to replicate what he'll face, plus strength training to add more pop to his punches. Stevenson even sacrificed holiday time to maintain his focus and preparation, keeping his conditioning perfect and his mindset locked on winning. This level of dedication shows a champion ready for the biggest fight of his life.
He told me,
Let's fight.
Think of Stevenson as this defensive riddle that drives opponents crazy by shutting down everything they try, forcing constant adjustments that eventually break them mentally. His whole approach centers on perfect timing, seeing what's coming, and landing quick counters while staying nearly impossible to hit clean. Lopez operates differently, staying aggressive but controlled, moving forward without overextending, and choosing his moments wisely. When these two clash, it'll be pure strategy, testing each other's mental game, adaptability, and boxing intelligence rather than just
power or aggression.
I don't expect him to fight the same way versus Teofimo Lopez. I really don't. And I think people are looking at the Zepeda fight and going, yeah, that's Shakur we want. And I don't want to say he's going to disappoint people, but he will not fight that way with Teo. He won't. And Teo won't fight the same way William Zepeda did. They'll both be very measured. I think it'll be a very slow-paced, low-output fight. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could see maybe they go to war or something, but we're talking about styles making fights, and Teo's style, even if he's on his front foot, he doesn't commit to a lot of punches on the front foot, but he can fight that way. Shakur almost exclusively wants to go defense to offense versus leading the exchange. So I don't know. Not to say Shakur will be on the back foot the whole time. That's not necessarily how I see the fight going, but I don't know if this is going to be like a knockdown, drag him out type of thing. I think we're going to get a defensive, sweet science display from both guys.
Instead of working his way up with easier fights in the new division, Stevenson jumped straight to title-level competition, making it clear he believes he belongs with the best, regardless of weight class. Lopez's recent work at 4T has gotten mixed reactions from experts who've noticed more decision victories than devastating knockouts, raising questions about his dominance at that weight. Even so, Lopez's track record includes major wins and championship experience that make him extremely dangerous for anyone, especially someone brand new to the division. But there's more.
I heard you was the one that wanted to fight, right?
Yeah. I actually set this fight up. And I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level. And I feel like, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough session, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Lamar Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Teo, he's a bigger name, though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's on one belts at 35, one belts at 30, at 40. So he's more accomplished. So I know that would be a better name on my resume.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that this is going to be a tough fight for you.
I mean, they absolutely right to have their opinion. I already know this guy's good. I done came up in the amateurs with him. I chose this for that reason.
These two bring completely different but equally impressive backgrounds into this massive showdown. Shakur Stevenson steps in with that perfect 24-0 record, including 11 knockouts, already holding world titles across multiple lighter divisions and defending that WBC lightweight belt with pure technical brilliance. His movement, discipline, and southpaw stance create problems for everyone who faces him. Teofimo Lopez comes in at 22-1 with 13 knockouts as the current WBO junior welterweight champion, having moved up after dominating as the unified lightweight king. Teofimo feels elite-level fighters should get elite-level money and believes a fight this big needs to be both exciting and financially worthwhile. Lopez stresses that his style brings entertainment, diversity, innovation, not just safe technical boxing. He references moments where experts were shocked by his technique and ability to adjust against world-class opposition. Taking inspiration from boxing legends, he mixes classic combinations with modern speed and power to keep evolving his game. For Teofimo, facing Shakur means more than just money or publicity. It's about demonstrating his complete skill set, respecting boxing's heritage, and proving he deserves to be in the sport's biggest moments.
You know what you're talking about, right?
Of course, I'm talking about Shakur.
For a bill.
For me.
Ooh,
we didn't get into Shakur.
Oh, yeah, I want to see like entertainment, and then pay the man for that entertainment.
Well, I
give it all different kind of traits of skills. I mean, even Andre Ward, someone that's like an analyst, like a perfectionist in boxing, like his IQ is high. He was even the commentator, like he was surprised how I did that jab where it was like a Superman punch to Josh Taylor, a guy that's undisputed and everything, and just made it look so easy. I bring so many things. I even brought a George Foreman combination now because that's everything. Everything is everything. Like I go back in time because that's where my future is at. And so like as far as like retirement and stuff, honestly, man, it's up to the networks. It's really up to the networks.
Eddie Hearn calls the Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson battle exactly what boxing is missing right now. He emphasizes both guys are world-class talents, hitting their peak, bringing opposite but equally dangerous weapons. Hearn recognizes Stevenson's technical brilliance and mental approach, explaining how his boxing intelligence and flawless preparation make him lethal even when facing bigger, stronger, natural 140-pound champions. Simultaneously, Hearn respects Lopez's explosive ability, raw athleticism, and unpredictable style that keeps opponents off balance. Stressing this style clash is what creates must-see fights. From Hearn's perspective, fans will witness a battle between boxing brains versus raw power and momentum, the ultimate examination for both warriors during their career peaks.
I think Shakur is massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is pound for pound, top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division world champion. Quite remarkable. And Teofimo always rises to the occasion. Sometimes you see a little bit of a lackluster performance when he's not motivated, when there isn't kind of any legacy on the line. This is different. This is a sold-out Madison Square Garden between two of the elite fighters of our generation. And the best thing about this fight is we're seeing them in their prime.
Respected boxing expert Teddy Atlas believes Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez deserve serious respect for doing what most elite fighters won't do, accepting dangerous high-stakes fights against world-class opposition. In modern boxing, protecting perfect records, selecting easier mandatory defenses, or postponing risky fights for business reasons has become standard practice. Stevenson and Lopez are taking the opposite approach. They're meeting each other at a higher weight division, completely aware of what there is. This mentality shows total confidence in their abilities and a competitive spirit that honors boxing's greatest traditions. By making this fight happen, both men demonstrate respect for the sport and fans who demand the best versus the best.
You know, Teofimo at certain spots, he's avoiding this guy, he's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, you know, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite. They will make, you know, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. 2 skillful fighters, 2 talented fighters, you know, 2 fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science.
Atlas explains that while the Stevenson versus Lopez fight guarantees elite-level skill, it might not produce constant fireworks or explosive action throughout. Boxing fans understand the difference between technically masterful contests and those packed with non-stop excitement. Some fights display complete mastery of the craft without delivering constant drama. Looking at Stevenson's recent work against Robson Canseco, his complete skill set was on display. He can work close range and long range, mixing defensive brilliance with controlled aggression. He controls the distance perfectly, counters with accuracy, and adjusts to whatever his opponent brings while staying competitive every round. These skills prove that even without being an all-out war, this fight will feature intelligent elite-level boxing, showcasing skill, strategy, and real-time adaptation.
I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Zepeda, you know, being elusive while being aggressive. You know, walking them down, fighting on the inside, you know, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great. And people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight. And it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about, and they wanted to see in Shakur. Well, they saw it.
Will Stevenson's technical brilliance outclass Lopez, or can Lopez's power and championship experience deliver a stunning upset when they finally meet? Let me know what you think will happen.